Okay. I see a third party is in, so welcome everybody out there on YouTube. Are we live, Arj?
We are live in 10 seconds, less than.
We are not live yet.
Okay. Now we're live.
Now we're live.
We are
All
live.
right. Welcome everybody out there in YouTube land. We are Nature's Frequencies, and we are very happy to have you today and join us. You know, today's all about food. I got to tell you, it's important. And I don't know if anybody out there saw RFK's when he got try to get confirmed, but in America, our people are not doing too well. The health in America is not good. We have like 60% chronic health like issues. That's not good. And a lot of it stems from the food. So today we're going to talk a little bit about it and let's have some fun, Arj. What do we got just to tell everybody real quick?
Real quick.
This is our Saturday Zoom event. Every other Saturday you can find us. And when you look at this picture, it really is good looking. I'm looking at the patent symbol, the Edison Awards, a couple of awards we won. RJ, it's very cool. You did a good job.
Very
Next,
good. Next,
flip it.
about us.
A little bit about us, real quick. We've won 14 major industry awards, including the prestigious Gold Medal Edison Award. I'm looking for it. I think it's in your office. Anyways, we have 6 U.S. patents. We've been live on Fox News. We've been featured in USA Today. Yes, RJ did phenomenal on Fox News. He was live on Stuart Varney, and we sold 40,000 cards in a day.
We
It's a
broke
good
our
day.
servers. We broke the servers.
Yeah. Anyways, it was a good day. Next,
11 years.
11. I think time
Well,
flies, Arj.
we're
You
going on
know,
12 now. We're going on 12. We're at 11.
we've done 11 years in business, and we've been watching companies come and go, especially in our space, but we're here. And that's pretty cool. And we are the manufacturers. And the other good thing is you can buy direct from us. There's not 8 middlemen. Very cool. Next.
Today's topic.
Food. All right. Number one, nobody's going to dispute us, Arch. Food's expensive.
It is expensive. No,
Food is now like even what I consider expensive. So you really want your food to last and you really want to eat good food. So where are you going from here, Arj? Or should I just take it away?
from here, we're going to go. Oh, well, here's a quick stat, real quick.
Yeah, 1/3 of the world's food is wasted. 1.3 billion tons. That's enough to feed the US 3 times over. The average family used to waste $2,400 a year. That was like 3 years ago. Now it's closer to $3,500 a year. The food just goes to waste, spoils, waste. That's a lot of waste. We're here to stop that. Well, I can't really stop it, but I can really help it. And we've really done a good job with a most amazing product, the Food Freshness Card. So what's next, Arj?
The other quick stat, 2000 a year.
That was before my 2,400 a year. And now it's even higher.
Now it's
So
higher. Yeah.
it is higher.
So what can we do?
Tell me, what can we do?
We can use the food freshness card.
This cool card is amazing. I can't put it any other way. And you're going to hear about why it's so amazing. But just to make it simple, we've been lab tested to increase the shelf life of fruits, vegetable, and breads up to 50% longer. And while our friends are out there listening, and I know we've got Australia, Singapore, our friends down in the villages, and a lot of other friends out there. If you have a good story you want to tell us at the end of the day, I'm giving out a food freshness card for some of the best stories. So think about it while we're going over to this. Um, Anyways, it was designed to keep everything fresher longer. If you stick this food freshness card under flowers, I just had somebody tell me, I brought it to their house when I was skiing out in Utah, and I gave them one. I put it as soon as I got there. I said, "Oh, nice fresh cut flowers." I left 8 days later, and she's like, "This is amazing. These flowers, not even a petal fell off." And she goes, "These things last like 3 days. I got them at the market." The whole time I was there, just because I put it under flowers, just stuck it right under the pot. I brought a bunch of them because I'm a nice guy. So I put one in the fridge. She had a nice fruit bowl. I put it under that. But the flowers, she said instantly before I left, she goes, I can't believe this. Then I did the muscle test with the card. There's like, oh my God. And we skied a lot and they saw my patches on my knee and kind of put some on his knee, my buddy. Guess what? The discomfort went away.
There we
And so,
go.
anyways, and I got to tell you, okay, I was in Park City. I skied Alta, Snowbird, Park City, and Deer Valley. I've been to Aspen and Vail. I thought Park City was amazing. RJ, when you go to Deer Valley, it's a whole new level.
It's another level.
Amazing. To say bougie, it's an understatement. And it was great skiing.
You see
Next,
people in Bogners?
um, RJ, just the houses on the trail were like $30 million houses, and it's through trees. They were stunning. I can't, they had really nice ones in Park City. Anyways, back to the food freshness card.
Back to the food card.
Let's go flip this.
Here we go. We
I-
did hit a milestone. A million.
did.
tons. We did.
Oh, we saved over 1 million tons of food from going to landfills. Yay. We're in
Woo.
supermarkets. We are all over the world. And every card we sell helps save some food. So check out our birthday deals. But yes, we've helped save 1 million. That's very cool, Arj. Thank you.
Very,
Next.
very good. Okay.
I'm dying to show you what I got here.
Do you want to show that for
I want you to let's just go real quick to a bovine test. We got tested for energy and understand people eat. Kill the screen for a minute while you find him. All right, there we go. You eat food for energy. Very simple. What do you get out of food? Energy. What are we made out of? Energy. Some of our favorite doctors have said, we're just a big ball of energy in a meat suit. Well, guess what? You eat food to get energy. The more energy in the food, the better you're going to be. Guess what? We got tested in Amsterdam in a lab. And can you play this, baby, so we can hear it and I'll explain it? And then I get to show. Here we go.
We got Frank.
Value is a measurement of the life energy, of the vital force in products and in people. And it's called after a physician in France. He was between the First and the Second World War responsible for the quality of the food of the French soldiers. And he was an expert in doing radiesthesia, just measuring the Beauville value. And for every fruit and vegetables, he knew after 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 days what the vitality, the Beauville value of the vegetables were. So when a bunch of fruit was delivered at the military, he could easily measure the vitality, and then he knew, it is okay for another week, for another 2 weeks. So it was a quality test for how fresh and how vital the vegetables are.
So now let's go to the food freshness card. You tested that. How did you test it?
Well, exactly the same way, just running water over it. And this card is 2 times bigger than the earthing card. But I was really amazed. 73,800 Beauville value just by pouring water over it.
That's a 400% increase. Now, if this was near food, what do you think it would do to our food? Because first of all, let's start with water. We are 60 to 70% water. Nobody fights that. Fruit, vegetables, high percentage of water. Water picks up everything. Water's a great substrate. So if the food freshness card was near some food, what do you think the food would be for your body?
Well, much more healthier, because it's not only the vitality which increases, but the negative information decreases too. So the vegetable is purified by the food freshness card. So I started a new test already.
Love it.
The test of a jar of 1 liter water, put on the freshness card and on the earthing card. And
Yep.
I will show you results.
You've been testing. I love it.
We're testing. This is the water we start with.
Yeah.
These are the results of the test we just spoke to each other about.
Yeah.
And here you see the test with 24 hours, 1 liter. And you see, this was already amazing. I can't read it now from behind, but see how it's almost 100,000
Yes.
on the earthing card. And that's almost 150,000 for the freshness card.
Wow.
And this is really good because I performed quite a lot of tests for people who said who had energy boards, but
Yeah.
they never come higher than 90,000 bovine.
That's amazing. And you did that within a week.
And now in one day, 24 hours.
So we're doing good.
Yes, you can say really that you are doing good. Yes.
All right. All right. Now, I got to tell everybody, energy is important. Frank was in Amsterdam. He tests a lab. He tests for cities. He tests municipalities. He tests water systems. And when we pass 90,000, these are like $1 million machines and boards that are trying to increase the energy. And if their goal is 90,000, and we did it in 24 hours with the food freshness card, we went to 140,000. The little earthing card went to 90,000, which is still good for them. This is their goal. We blew it away. You could hear them laughing. Now, I got to tell you, energy. All right. A lot of people want to know, how long do the cards last? How do I know if it's working? Well, let me tell you, the easiest, one way is RJ and I were at a trade show for a natural food, and these two ladies walked up to us like stormtroopers. And they, remember RJ?
Yep.
They came and they were like, "What are you doing?" And I'm like, "We have the food freshness card." They took their hand and they went right to the pile of food freshness cards. And then they started talking to each other. They go, "The energy coming out of this booth hit us both when they walked in the convention center." She goes, "We came right here." I go, "Well, what do you two do?" "We're Reiki masters. We feel your energy." And, a lot of our people can feel the energy coming off the card. So that's one way, is ask a Reiki master if it's working. I have another way, and this is really cool. All right. You can test energy with a pendulum. Okay. This is the OG. If you look at it close, it says protocol. And it
OG.
says, this is the real OG. When we test things, we test. So I looked, it's got some dirt. It's got this is old. This was in the back of my bread box.
How
all
many
right?
years old is?
RJ, it says protocol. This is old.
That's old.
Okay. A little tiny sticker, and I know the date because of it. This one's about 10 years old. So if you take a little pendulum, and you can get these for like on Amazon, they're not a lot. Just put it over the card, and you'll see it spins clockwise. Oh, let me just get it closer.
There you go.
Okay. Anyways, it spins, and which means it still has energy, which is really pretty good. Now, I got another one. Found this in the back of my fridge. This one is dated 06. Okay, so it's about 8 years old. And I just let it start. All I'm doing is holding it.
So yeah, explain a little bit what's happening right now.
The energy, good energy makes it spin clockwise. All right. So this one's got more energy than that. Now I have a brand new one. How about that? I just put it on, hold it.
Ooh, she's twerking.
Yeah, she is.
There we go.
And this is a new card. Anyways, I had to show you that because, it's, a lot of people have used pen. Like all of a sudden, I was watching a show and somebody said, "Look at the energy." They whipped out a pendant and said they tested the water. You could see the energy. You can get these on Amazon. Okay. They're pendants. It's really simple. Good energy. It'll spin clockwise. You can read about it. Dowsing. It works. Like it's energy. It's hard to explain, what we do. RJ, when we started, how do you do that? You have no power source. It's voodoo. Well, according to Frank, We put energy in the water. According to my little, my little pendulum, it works. So you can test it. I was just wondering, about the old card. I mean, this is probably 10 years old. This is really old. And anyways, it's very cool. I had to show you that. We guarantee the cards for a year. We've obviously underestimated. And I'm happy because as you know, our products work. But these are really cool. And again, Reiki masters can feel it. I've had people tell me wow, but I'm not a Reiki master. All right. But
And you know what, though? We got something here is.
what do you got?
All right, so we have the pendulum. Yes, a lot of people are probably scratching their heads a little bit on the pendulum, but you know what?
Okay.
You know what? We have actual science behind this.
We have
So
science too,
we
but
have
this
real
is fun.
science. Exactly. That's fun, but it's real. A lot of people don't know. So let's show the real stuff.
All right. Let's show some real stuff.
Let's show
RJ,
some,
mine is
real
classic
stuff.
real.
Okay, let's go to.
Arj, I'm waiting.
I know you are. Okay, here we go.
The food freshness card reviews.
Nope. This is the one.
Am I going to hear anecdotal?
First, here we go. Let's go to the tomato time lapse.
All right. All right. Just so you know, all of our products, the food freshness card, were tested in the lab. And the cool thing is on the bottom right, it's time stamped at the lab. So you can't beat it. It's
nobody
every,
does that.
right. Let's just say one of our illustrious competitors, they time lapse strawberries in 3 days. And I don't think if you put it in a sauna, it could like spoil as quick as the strawberries they had spoil.
Yeah.
And we're like 3 days. No, it's not the way that things go. Like, anyways, they had no time lapse. We have the time lapse. Here it is. And RJ, play this baby.
All right, we're gonna play it, but like you said, we do keep the timestamps in the bottom right.
The lab stamps it on every single picture.
And
So
I
that's
also-
one thing. But the other cool thing, look at the stems. All right. That's where tomatoes go usually, is at the stems. So RJ, hit play.
Nope.
And then look at the bottom left tomato. Here we go. Day 1, day 10.
Over here.
Ooh, the ones on the right are not good. Check out the stem on the bottom left. That's energy. Okay, we have a few secrets.
Explain this. What's happening here?
I will explain some secrets. If that tomato gets the frequency of the earth, Schumann resonance, 783, it might think it's alive. If that tomato gets energy, it may try to reproduce. If that tomato isn't dead, even though it's disconnected, but it's getting the frequency of the earth, it thinks it's alive, it actually grew a stem. The lab called us up and they said, I don't know what you're doing, but this is wild. And then they showed us the video, and the bottom left grew a stem. It tried to live. So look at all the other tomatoes on the left. No mold, but the bottom left one grew a stem. The one on the right are mold projects. All right, next, Arj. Anyways, that's cool.
Here's another science video.
Science. All right. Before you hit play, this is very simple. A loaf of bread put in the same loaf in 2 Ziplocs. So the lab put it in 6 months. Run it, Arch.
Here we go.
You can see the card under the one on the left.
Yep, this is the card.
That is the card.
Jay. Here we go.
See, 1 month, the bread is good. 2 months, up, it started. 3 months, going down the tubes. 4 months, penicillin project, mold.
And you see the timestamps going crazy right there? That's because that's real.
Time is flying. All right, but if you look at if this is a mold project. Like, you're throwing that bread away and anything that's near it. All right. The one on the left is still good. The lab called us up on this one and they said, we can run the test forever, but you're paying every day it's here. And they said, no one's going to believe 6 months anyways. So you might as well stop it. And we're like, yeah, you're right. 6 months is enough. Our buddy Harry in Australia is classic for good old bread. So anyways, let's, what else do we have, Arj?
We got one more with berries we got to show.
All right. See, this is like the right time for things to mold. 20 days, Arch, not 3 days.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
like, if
exactly.
your strawberries mold in 3 days, don't ever go back to that store.
Yeah,
You
the
know,
store's fired.
the only reason why RJ and I are bringing it up is because the booth was across from us and we were staring at this video for days of strawberries molding in 3 days. And with their product, it didn't mold in 3 days. I'm like, 3 days? You know,
That's
anyways,
like
hit,
3 months.
hit play.
Go.
So this is a mixture of berries. You get strawberries, blackberries, and blackberries go too. Red raspberries in the bottom right. Freeze it right near the end. Yeah, take a look. Okay, there you go. Red raspberries, gone. Strawberries, gone. Bottom left, blackberries, there's some mold. And it's buried in there, a lot of that. But 20 days, all my berries are good. Now, when this was filmed, berries were like a third of the price they are today. Berries like are now $4.99, like for a little package. It is crazy. So you really want to keep, your food healthy. Now, here's the other thing. I got to tell you, today's world. All right, Arch, take that down for a minute.
Got
We're
it.
talking about berries. All right. My wife she's a nutritionalist. She's taught nutrition. My kids are homeschooled. She teaches there and she teaches kid nutrition. She is what we call healthy crunchy. All right. I say she eats like a gerbil. All right. I am a carnivore. I eat meat. Sorry, but I really do. She makes a slush. She makes a morning with berries of all sorts of stuff and puts her. Uh-oh. She can hear me. What do you put in your blender of stuff? Oh, now she's in a grapefruit kick. Black flaxseed, chia seeds, and every berry known to man, and a banana. So, anyway, she whips this up, and Arj, it's funny. She gives it, and then she sticks it in front of me and says, "Drink this." All right, it's all good for you. I got to tell you, um, you know, when our food is the food in America, isn't like the food in Europe. If you like, Europe doesn't allow half the ingredients that we have. And why?
Not for long. Not for long.
Not for long.
Not for
But
long.
if you're looking at ingredients and you see high fructose corn syrup, and you see, Jolie, what are the other bad ingredients? She
Red
really,
number 3.
though, the food coloring, she's adamant about that.
Yep.
And if you see the word formaldehyde, stay away. Anything else you don't want people to eat? Nothing red, no cereals.
Cereals, yeah, nah.
She wants grown in the ground, not manufactured in a factory. All right. But look at the back of what you buy, please. And if you're seeing 32 ingredients of things you can't pronounce, I promise you it's not good for you. All right. I can't put it any other way.
That's the best way to say it. If you can't pronounce it, it's not good for you.
Right. Like healthy. You want to eat. Right. It's not real. So if you look at my fridge, you're going to see a lot of real healthy, crunchy things. And it's probably knock on wood, like chronic illness is in America. Oh, Jolie says shop the outside of the grocery store. Once you hit the middle, it's all processed crap. Anyways,
she's not
this
wrong.
is the advice from a really healthy woman, happens to be my wife, and she's keeping me young and healthy.
Healthy crunchy.
So, pardon? Healthy. Oh, we
Healthy crunchy.
Anyways, so with that being said, buy fresh and use the food freshness card. Now, the other cool thing about the food freshness card is our good friend Cynthia that's on asked me one time, Rick, if one card keeps it fresh, how many do you have? I go, I got 4, 5. She's like, well, why? Because you only need one to keep it fresh. But I eat everything in there. And the more energy in the food, the more energy I have. And I have a lot of energy. So she's like, ooh, but here's the cool thing. If you have a water dispenser, your water dispenser stored in the back of your fridge, stick a food freshness card there. The water picks up the frequency. Now you're drinking good water. A lot of our people have been known to take a food freshness card when they're washing their vegetables, wash it with a food freshness card. All right. It just take our word for it. It does really good things. We've all heard from our favorite doctor in Paris that her microgreens grew like crazy. You know, Dr. Marie loves the food freshness card. She calls it her energetic assistant. And I love when she says that. It is the energetic assistant. Our good friend Cynthia soaks her meat with it. Cynthia, I spice all my meat and then I cook it on my grill and I love it. And I am the king of barbecue. Anyways, gross. Yeah. My healthy, crunchy one just shakes her head. All right. She really does eat like a gerbil, but she's healthy. So please, everybody, read the ingredients of your food. And if you can't pronounce it, don't
Can't
buy it.
pronounce it. Yeah, if you can't pronounce it, it's probably not great for you.
Yeah. Yeah. Um, so what is next, Arj? We have to have something.
Okay, so next we have a couple really good,
Really? Is this a really big show?
good reviews. So this is for YouTube land for people that are looking at the pendulum and being like, what is a pendulum? And then looking at bovine testing, saying, what's a bovine test? So we're gonna go to real people, real reviews, real people, and we're gonna play. And,
Okay, hit play.
okay. Share.
I'm waiting.
Yeah. Do you see what
Still waiting.
you see what I see?
Yep.
Dr. Rob Silverman here, ACA Sports Council Chiropractor of the Year, author of Inside Out Health, a revolutionary.
Okay, hang on.
What happened to my Dr.
I
Rob?
want to talk to you about something that I've been using and I've been getting fantastic results, and I stand 1,000% behind. We eat only organic. The food is lasting in the refrigerator 4 times as long. Now, we all know that organic food is the healthiest food that we can consume. The problem is, after 2 or 3 days in the refrigerator, it spoils. No pesticides. The food cart is enabling the freshness and enabling the organic food to last longer.
Well, hello. I want you to know that I've had this card for 1 year, and my bread, I left to go international. I bought the bread a week before I left, was gone 6 weeks. I've been home 2 weeks actually, and here is the bread, soft
No more.
and no mold.
What do you think of the food freshness card?
I think it's awesome because I only eat fresh green food. And I can tell you over the year, my kale, my spinach, apples, they'll be in there from the beginning of the month until the end of the month, still as fresh as ever.
Okay, pause that for a second.
Yep.
All right, just so everyone knows, the first one's Dr. Rob. He was sports chiropractor of the year. He wrote a book, Inside Out Health. It was a bestseller, and he's a really nice guy. His wife, May, said when I saw her at a show, and she goes, Rick, this card's amazing. She goes, I buy the big things of organic spinach, and we used to have to throw them out all the time. She goes, I have not thrown out a leaf of spinach since I put the card in the fridge. She goes, and we buy the big ones because I like to eat healthy. And I think she was Filipino, and they eat a lot. She goes, we eat a lot of vegetables. And when I'm lucky to find some of the things I like, I buy it. And she goes, I'm not throwing anything away. And this baby spinach, she goes, I don't think we ever finished one at our house because she buys the big containers. Dr. Cadiz, she was a riot. She says, Rick, like, I had to bring this in. I knew you guys would be here. That was Life University at a trade show. We met her the year before, and she got a card, and she goes, this card is really amazing. And she said, I went away, the bread, a month later, it's still good. And she goes, all my greens, I haven't thrown away anything. And she's got one of these Vitamix shake machines. It's like a $500 blender. It's called a Vitamix, and she loves it. And she puts her kale and starts the day with it. And she goes, Rick, everything is just healthy looking when I'm making these shakes. All right, let's go back to this. Is pretty cool. Just so you know, this is where I live. That's my mountain behind me in the spring. So anyways, you got to love my mountain.
Here we go.
Okay.
Since we've been testing the food card, we found that it stretches our dollar a lot farther by keeping our bread, our fruits, our vegetables all fresher longer. My kids live on berries during the summer, and we found that especially organic berries stay a lot longer, and we're able to eat them before they go bad. Instead of lasting 2 or 3 days, we can get a week out of them, which is fantastic. Since we've been using the food card, we find that our budget goes a lot further because we have less food waste.
Happy New Year. I'm at my son's visiting. And when I got here, I got upset with him because something happened to the food freshness in his refrigerator. So I made sure that it got back in there because they never have to throw food away. And I'm a single woman. I mean, I'm always throwing stuff away because I can't eat it fast enough. And now it lasts forever. So, and the bananas, my son is just amazed. He says, how come the bananas last so long? So they immediately put all the fruit and bananas on the food freshness, and they weren't paying attention to the refrigerator.
That'll teach them.
It's just amazing when I got here. You know, I've got believers now. You have more believers. So thank you.
In taking care of Mom, who is now in another facility, I had to make 2 separate meals because she wanted good old-fashioned meat and potatoes and meat and potatoes and all of that. And I eat in a different fashion. So everything I would eat would spoil quickly. I occasionally want a piece of bread. This bread has no additives at all. It is a sourdough bread from one of our bakeries in town. And it is as fresh as it was the day I bought it. And it's from October 1st. October 1st. And so every once in a while, it might be once a week, I'll use a piece of bread. And I mean, look at it. So my organic vegetables, the berries, they last at least 3 times longer because I do average, I was counting 6 food freshness cards in each refrigerator, and they are not large refrigerators. Also, I do cook occasionally and need milk or cream or sour cream and stuff like that. I have some that's 6 months old. There isn't any mold on it. My cheese gets no mold on it. It's amazing. So I'm very grateful. It just makes my heart so warm that you created this to help the world not waste food. And I love to hear the updates on that. I really do. So thank you so much for starting the company and starting with food freshness.
We've got a cool bread called a Piggly Wiggly up here. I think it's something like that. The Flying Pig. Anyways, they make incredible bread with, like she said, it's all natural, but it can be like cranberries with, it's all different flavored breads. There's no additive, and they go bad really quick. If you put a food freshness card, they actually last and I can finish them. Without it, 2 or 3 days, they're gone. Like it just molds. And I just remembered that when she said that. Our buddy Nate, what's our buddy Nate got to say, Arj?
Yeah, Nate is next. Here we go.
I tell you, the food freshness card, being what it does, is amazing because you don't think about how long your food lasts. Now, that might sound like a negative, but it's not. Milk lasts, I don't know what it is about milk. It lasts forever. It just doesn't go bad. I don't know what to say. We don't drink a lot of milk, so it's in there for a month, 6 weeks, perfectly fine. The wife does and daughter buy organic. And lettuce, of course, as you know, whether it's escarole or endive, it goes bad in days. It doesn't go bad. It's an amazing thing to watch. Fruit, it just never goes bad. I don't know how to explain it. And you get so used to it, which I guess is kind of a problem, that you don't think about how fast stuff used to go bad. So the savings, that stuff is expensive. Everything's expensive. Fruit's expensive. Organic is expensive. Foods in general, milk is, oh my gosh, it's a fortune, $5, $6 a gallon, depending where you get it at. So just extremely excited about the whole thing. I probably take it for granted, which I should not, because it really doesn't.
I've got cheese still here. It says used by date the 11th of October, 2022, right? And it's still edible. There's no mold on it. You can see it. There's the proof and evidence of it.
I'm still eating it. I chop a little bit off every day. I don't need a lot of cheese, but yeah. And the date says 11th of October, 2000. Look, I bought that cheap too, $4.99. Most people would just walk past it, $4.99. You think you throw it out after a week. But there you are, 11th of October. It's still going great. And it's already the 1st of January. And just think, that bread's 6 months old. For God's sake, unbelievable. That's a staff of life, I tell you. And just, Rick, what you're doing with the technology is fantastic.
The food freshness card has been great ever since I got it down in Atlanta. Used it on the way home back to Pittsburgh. But the food freshness card, it numerous all over the house. I keep them the vegetables in the refrigerator. I hate to go to the store. When I go, I'll stock up on the vegetables because that's the good stuff, and they'll stay in my refrigerator, my vegetable crisper, for months at a time. And it is amazing how that does it. You look at the expiration date or something on there, and it just doesn't. It's amazing how much they stay there. And I'm so thankful for the freshness card and what it does to inhibit the bacteria and the mold and stuff. It does what it's supposed to. So I have several in the fridge, and it makes the food taste better. It's a wonderful gift for Christmas. I've given to the kids every Christmas. Say, here, put this on there. Oh, Dad, what's that for? I said, just believe me, this company's been around 9 years. The patents on this, they couldn't do this and have all these wonderful testimonials if it didn't work. Believe me, it works. And they come back and say, hey, Dad, that's amazing. That's good.
All right. All right, pause that for a second.
The food cart in my house is not only in the refrigerator, on the counter for the.
All right, just so everyone knows, you can also do a taste test. All right. I got to tell you, it's fun. Take a lemon, cut it, put half of the lemon in slices on this, put the other half over there, and have somebody taste the lemon on the card. Really simple. And they'll go, oh, tastes pretty good. Then have them taste the one not on the card. And you'll see their face go, yeah. And there'll be disbelief. If you have wine that's really not good, put it on the wine. Do a taste test. And same thing, taste the wine on the card first. They'll be like, yeah, it tastes pretty good. Get the worst bottle of wine you can and just put it on the card, put the card on top. And it's amazing. Then taste the exact same wine without the card. They'll be like, this isn't the same wine. And you really can do this. It's fun. And feel free to try it at your own house. All right, you can go back to Ron. I just wanted to say the taste test.
That was good. That was good. But yeah, let's go back. Let's hear from
Ron. And then we got a couple people.
Yeah.
I love it. Harry's, the bread's still there since 2022. I love it, Harry.
Okay, here we go. Do you see what I see?
Yes, hit play.
Fruits, the vegetables, the flowers. I'm also in a social service position, and I have placed them in my clients' homes. They're elderly or socially challenged, and they get some of their food from the food pantries. And the food stays fresh so long. It's not like they go out to the grocery store and get them. They get it from the food pantry, and it's still good. It's still mostly fresh, and it will last, again, 4 to 5 weeks, whether it be in the refrigerator, in the bread box, in the freezer. It is a wonderful, wonderful product to have in anybody.
You got to remember, when you live in a warmer area, your food can go and spoil faster. That's one of those things that just happens. It doesn't just freeze like where you live. Anyway, 2 places that we really use it to save us money on our food. One is in the pantry itself. We buy freshly baked bread, which always goes down faster than if you get it in the regular, Wonder Bread or whatever else it is. So we have found that putting it just within a couple of feet of that bread, that it has stayed until we finish it. which is pretty good for us considering we don't usually eat a lot of bread around here. But even better place that saved me money was in the refrigerator. I'm not a big milk drinker. I'll cook with it, but I don't really drink it. My wife, on the other hand, doesn't drink it much, but she'll have it with her cereal in the morning. And we're talking like, what, a half a cup on there? And we found that buying a gallon jug, it would just go bad before she finished it. So she had to cut back, starting to buy the quarts and that kind of thing, which is just in itself more expensive than buying the gallon if you could use the whole thing up. We started using it underneath the water or underneath of the gallon jug. And it went from lasting a couple of weeks to until it was empty a month later. And I went back to the commissary and could replace it. So it saved not only in not throwing it out because it was bad, but because we were able to buy a larger amount of it and keep it fresh that much longer. You know, it works for anything that you put in the refrigerator, anything at all.
Rick, this is Christy again, and I just want to give you an update. This card that I have had in the bottom of my refrigerator has kept my food fresh for a really long time. I am completely sold. Everyone should have one of these in the refrigerator. This is amazing. A week ago, I recorded a video of this very same vegetable tray, and I haven't thrown it away because the vegetables are still good. And even they're still fresh. See, crunchy carrot, still fresh. And the ranch dip is still good. But the other amazing thing is this is a jar of milk. And it's good local milk. And I don't have a lot of kids in my house anymore. And so we don't go through a ton of milk. So I buy a little bit more expensive milk. However, you see how what's in there just a little bit? It's still good. And I bought this when I bought this tray. So how long has that been? So it's been almost 3 weeks. Almost 3 weeks ago, I bought this. And there's not very much left, but I'm going to use the rest of this in my cereal right now. I'm going to have cereal. But I just wanted to thank you again for this fabulous food card and from Nature's Frequencies. It's amazing. So everyone.
Pause this real quick.
Yeah.
Just so everyone knows. She was at a trade show and didn't really believe what we did. And she actually makes, she was running, I would think it was Dr. Hoy's cream with arnica in it.
Yep.
Okay. And she's the nicest person. So, you know, she's like, I hope that works, but is it really going to keep my food fresh? And I actually said to her, here, tell you what, I'm going to give you one. You use it. If it works, I want a video from you. And so she did one video the week before that and said, I usually throw these trays away in the first video. Then she came back and said, Rick, this is still good. Like 3 weeks ago, she was shocked. And the milk, the really cool thing is that's probably the world's best milk she has, local milk. Okay. Not pasteurized, not homogenized, nothing in it, milk. Milk is good for you, but it doesn't tend to last. And you could see she's not throwing it away because it's still good. And 3 weeks later, she goes, that's never happened. Like I wind up throwing it away, and they recycle the container. But she was shocked. She's like, I don't even know what to say. Anyways, do you have any more? Are we good? What do you got?
That was a good couple.
Okay.
From that.
Does anybody want to tell a story?
Is anybody here?
If there's anybody wants to tell a story, just tell us. We can unmute you.
Yeah.
Or
I'll tell you a little story.
let's get Eric Arch.
All right. First we got Eric. Here we go. Let me.
I was in the supermarket and they had some Brussels sprouts, and they were 2 for the price of 1 virtually, or a discount, whatever. So I thought, oh, I don't need that many, but I'll buy 2 anyway. So what I decided to do is to put 1 bag in the deep freeze and the other bag on my shelf inside with my food freshness card. When I went to start eating the ones that were in the food freshness card arena, they were perfect. I took them out, cooked them, and they were fine. Then about a week later, because during the Chinese New Year, I was eating out a lot. So about a week later, I went to go, and I thought, oh, I'll try the ones from the deep freeze. And I swear the flavor had gone. I didn't feel the same quality of flavor. And it's more expensive shoving stuff in a deep freeze than having it in a normal fridge with the food freshness card. So there's a saving of electricity, I guess, to some degree, because if I stuffed too much stuff in the deep freeze, I'm burning up an awful lot of electricity, and I'm not necessarily making the food any tastier. But when you put it in the normal fridge with a food freshness card, you're maintaining the freshness, and you don't have to spend a lot of time trying to deep freeze the damn stuff. So an interesting experiment by default.
I love it.
Anyway, hope that helps.
You. Thank you, Eric in Singapore. All right.
That's okay.
It is always a pleasure. Who
yeah,
else?
we don't grow Brussels sprouts in Singapore.
I don't think you would. Harry.
No, we don't have enough land.
Who do we have next? I think Nate. Nate?
We got Harry.
I've got a loaf of bread here, Rick. I've got this loaf of bread.
Hold it. Let's go back to Harry first. Sorry, Nate. All right, Harry.
That's that loaf of bread. It's 2022, right? And I have used the pendulum to check to see if it's still edible and safe to eat, and it is. And I want to share this because this is God's lie detector. It's not man's science, right? Works on quantum physical energy, which is God's energy, which is in all of us. And you can use this for everything to check everything that you want to. It's just yes and no answers, really. But just to support you, Rick, because people probably think, yeah, well, what's Rick up to? But as I say, this is God's lie detector. Everybody can use it. It's so simple to use anyway. But this bread is just fantastic. Just to give you a bit of an idea, in the fridge here, this is where my card is. You see this here? There's my card. There's my grapes. And I sleep on these cards. So you do my water over the card. You've got to have the frequency of God in your body. So thank you so much for letting me share this with you. Thanks so much, Rick.
Always a pleasure. And, you know, I loved it, Harry, when you told us the story. It's like, hey, I bought this cheese. It was already outdated, but I didn't care because I knew it was going to last. And it did.
That's right. That's right.
And you said it was like $3.99 or $4.99 instead of like $8, but it's like my food freshness card. And then you ate it and kept in it. Stayed. And I love that.
I'm still alive, and I've just push mowed 5 acres of grass with the Victor, a Briggs
there you go.
motor.
I love
in
it.
40-degree heat with minerals in my water, energized water.
That's awesome.
I'm
Nate,
playing pickleball.
I'm going to pickleball right after this.
You're
1
right.
o'clock. I have a pickleball match. What's up, Nate? Tell us, buddy.
Well, I tell you, again, it never ceases to amaze me. I go to the grocery store a couple of days. Well, it's probably a week ago now. And wife wanted some romaine lettuce. And I went to the store. This stuff was on its last leg. It's starting to turn brown. I tell the the clerk in the back, I said, look, do you have anything fresher? No, sorry, this is all we have. But we'll give you a discount on it. Okay, well, I'll take it. This stuff is only going to last a day or two, tops. No kidding. I put it in the fridge. Do you know that it stopped aging? It's still in there, but it literally stopped aging. You know how romaine turns brown and it becomes unedible because it becomes slimy. There's more to the 0 point energy that you guys have figured out a way to infuse into these cards through your holographic substrate, which is amazing. But the technology is so real. You just cannot believe it until you actually witness it with your own eyes. I love the experimentation, but hey, you guys knocked it out of the park. Once again, that's just one example. I could go on, but that's my story for today.
Thank you, Nate.
Nate.
All right. Arj, are we good? Can I give something away now?
I got another one.
Oh, tell us, Dick.
Okay, I'll start with the organic red grapes. We picked them up on a Thursday. We went for a week down at the Marriott, left the grapes home, right? Usually you get about 4 or 5 days out of them. So we came back the next Friday, and the grapes tasted even better. We ate them over the next 4 or 5 days, a whole 2-pound container of them. I mean, they were just absolutely delicious. Friend of mine I'd met at the local fish store. She was at a meeting and she wanted another food freshness card. So I quick ran home and came back and got it. And so she had bought some fresh salmon from this really, so not a grocery store, but a specialized fish store. They get it fresh daily. So I didn't see her for a couple of weeks. She had some a death in the family and everything. But then I saw her. She says, I put that salmon on the food freshness card I bought in the refrigerator, and 2 weeks later, it was still good. And she cooked it up. I was blown away with it. So, water. I run my water through a couple filters, and then I put it in a 2-gallon container. And as I put it in the container, it runs over an earthing card twice. And then I have a food freshness card, an earthing card, and an energy and vitality card all around that 2-gallon jug of water. So it's getting all of those frequencies over about a 2-day period before it's coming out. And I always listen to Rick when he says, leave a little water in. Okay. Well, I'm leaving a lot of water in that. So it's really doing real well with that. Bed, I've got it in my bed. I have one that I sit on. Now, why do I sit on that? Well, one day Rick mentioned that a friend of his borrowed his truck and said, why am I sitting on this card? And Rick said, sit on it. Right? So I figured, Rick knows something here. So I'm going to have one underneath me whenever I'm on the couch or anyplace else. So thanks for the little side tips that you always give us, Rick. Back to you.
Thank you, Dick. Thank you, everybody. Let's do a giveaway, Arj.
I think it's time. All right. So you guys